DEVARIM, Deuteronomy, to our forefathers Yisrael. Chapter 1. These are the words that Moshe spoke to Kol Yisrael beyond the Yarden in the wilderness, in the plain opposite the Sea of Reeds, between Paran and Tophel, and Lavan and Hatzerot and Dizahab. There are 11 Yamim's journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir to Kadesh Barnea. And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first yom of the month, that Moshe spoke to the children of Yisrael, according to all that Yahweh had given him in mitzvot for them, after he had slain Sichon the Melech of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and Og the Melech of Bashan, who dwelt at Ashtaroth in Edrei, beyond Yarden in the land of Moab. Moshe began to declare this Torah, saying, Yahweh our Elohim spoke to us in Horeb, saying, You have dwelt long enough in this mount. Turn and take your journey, and go to the mount of the Amorites, and to all the places near there in the plain, in the hills, and in the low country, and in the south, and by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites, and to Lebanon, to the great river, the river Parat, Euphrates. See, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which Yahweh swore to your avot, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, to give to them and to their zerah after them. And I spoke to you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you alone by myself. Yahweh your Elohim has multiplied you, and see, you are this yom as the Kochavim of the Shamayim for multitude. Yahweh Elohim of your avot will make you 1,000 times more than you are now, and bless you as he has promised you. How can I by myself all alone bear your pressure and your burden and your strife? Take wise and understanding men known among your tribes, and I will make them heads over you. And you answered me and said, The thing which you have spoken is tov for us to do. So I took the heads of your tribes, wise men and well known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over 50s, and captains over 10s, and officers among your tribes. And I charged your shoftim at that time, saying, Hear the causes between your brothers, and judge in tzedekah between every man and his brother, and the ger who is with him. You shall not respect persons in mishpat, but you shall hear the small as well as the great. You shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the mishpat belongs to Elohim, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it to me, and I will hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the things that you should do. And when we departed from Horeb, we went through that entire huge and awesome wilderness, which you saw by the way of the mountain of the Amorites, as Yahweh our Elohim commanded us, and we came to Kadesh Barnea. And I said to you, You are come to the mountain of the Amorites, which Yahweh our Elohim gives to us. See, Yahweh your Elohim has set the land before you. Go up and possess it, as Yahweh Elohim of your avot has said to you. Fear not, neither be discouraged. And you came near to me, every one of you, and said, We will send men before us, and they shall search out the land, and bring us word again of which way we must go up, and into what cities we shall come. And the saying pleased me, and I took 12 men from you, one per tribe, and they turned and went up into the mountain, and came to the valley of Eshcol, and searched it out. And they took of the fruit of the land in their hands, and brought it down to us, and brought us word again, and said, It is a tov land that Yahweh our Elohim gives us. Nevertheless you would not go up, but rebelled against the mitzvah of Yahweh your Elohim, and you grumbled in your tents, and said, Because Yahweh hated us, he has brought us forth out of the land of Mitzrayim to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us. Where shall we go up? Our brothers have discouraged our levavot, saying, The people are greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to the Shamayim, and we have seen the sons of the Anakim there. Then I said to you, Dread not, neither be afraid of them. Yahweh your Elohim, who goes before you, shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Mitzrayim before your eyes. And in the wilderness, where you have seen how Yahweh your Elohim carried you, as a man carries his son in all the derech that you went, until you came into this place. Yet in this matter you did not believe Yahweh your Elohim, who went in the derech before you to search out a place to pitch your tents, in the fire by night, to show you which way you should go, and in the cloud by yom. And Yahweh heard the voice of your words, and was angry, and swore, saying, Surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that tov land which I swore to give give to your avot, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he has walked upon, and to his children, because he has fully followed Yahuwah. Also Yahuwah was angry with me for your sakes, saying, You shall not go in there. But Yahushua the son of Nun, who stands before you, he shall go in there. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. And your little ones, whom you said should be a prey, and your children, who in that yom had no da'at between tov and evil, shall go in there. And to them will I give it, and they shall possess it. But as for you, turn and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds. Then you answered and said to me, We have sinned against Yahuwah. We will go up and fight according to all that Yahuwah our Elohim commanded us. And when you had girded on every man his weapons of war, you were ready to go up on the hill. And Yahuwah said to me, Say to them, Go not up, neither fight, for I am not among you, lest you be smitten before your enemies. So I spoke to you, and you would not listen, but rebelled against the order of Yahuwah, and went presumptuously up into the mountain. And the Amorites who dwelt in that mountain came out against you, and chased you as bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even to Hormah. And you returned and wept before Yahuwah, but Yahuwah would not listen to your voice, nor give ear to you. So you dwelt in Kadesh many yamim, according to the yamim that you dwelt there. DEVARIM. Deuteronomy. Chapter 2. Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds, as Yahuwah spoke to me, and we circled Mount Seir many yamim. And Yahuwah spoke to me, saying, You have circled this mountain long enough. Turn northward, and command the people, saying, You are to pass through the coast of your brothers, the children of Esau, who dwell in Seir, and they shall be afraid of you. Take tov heed to yourselves, therefore. Strive not with them, for I will not give you of their land, no, not so much as a footstep, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau for a possession. You shall buy food from them for money, that you may eat, and you shall also buy ma'im from them for money, that you may drink. For Yahuwah your Elohim has blessed you in all the works of your hand. He knows your wandering through this great wilderness. These 40 years Yahuwah your Elohim has been with you. You have lacked nothing. And when we passed by our brothers the children of Esau, who dwelt in Seir, through the way of the plain from Elat, and from Etzion Geber, we turned and passed by the way of the wilderness of Moab. And Yahuwah said to me, Distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give you their land as a possession, because I have given Ar to the children of Lot as a possession. The Emim dwelt there in times past, a people great and many and tall, as the Anakim, who also were reckoned as Rephaim, like the Anakim, but the Moabites called them Emim. The Horites also dwelt in Seir before, but the children of Esau succeeded them, when they had destroyed them, and dwelt in their place, as Israel did to the land of their possession, which Yahuwah gave to them. Now rise up, I said, and go over the brook Zered. And we went over the brook Zered, and the time from which we came from Kadesh Barnea until we came over the brook Zered was 38 years, until all the generation of the men of war were consumed from among the camp, as Yahuwah swore to them. For indeed the hand of Yahuwah was against them to destroy them from among the camp, until they were consumed. So it came to pass, when all the men of war had perished from among the people, that Yahuwah spoke to me, saying, You are to pass over through Ar, the coast of Moab, this yom. And when you come near, opposite the children of Hammon, distress them not, nor strive with them, for I will not give you the land of the children of Hammon as a possession, because I have given it to the children of Lot for a possession. That also was accounted a land of Rephaim. Rephaim dwelt there in old times, and the Ammonites called them Zamzumim, a great and many, and as tall as the Anakim, but Yahuwah destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their place, as he did to the children of Esau, who dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horites from before them, and they succeeded them, and dwelt in their place even to this yom. And the Avim who dwelt in Hatzerim, even to Azah, the Kaphtorim who came forth out of Kaphtor, destroyed them and dwelt in their place. Rise up, take your journey, and pass over the river Arnon. See, I have given into your hand Sichon the Amorite, Melech of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to possess it, and contend with him in battle. This yom will I begin to put the dread of you and the fear of you upon the nations who are under the whole Shamayim, who shall hear reports of you, and shall tremble, and be in anguish because of you. And I sent messengers out of the wilderness of Kedemot to Sichon Melech of Heshbon with words of shalom, saying, Let me pass through your land. I will go along by the highway. I will neither turn to the right hand, nor to the left. You shall sell me meat for money, that I may eat, and give me ma'im for money, that I may drink. Only I will pass through on my feet, as the children of Esau who dwell in Seir, and the Moabites who dwell in Ar did for me, until I shall pass over Yarden into the land that Yahuwah our Elohim gives us. But Sihon Melech of Heshbon would not let us pass by him. For Yahuwah your Elohim hardened his ruach, and made his lev obstinate, that he might deliver him into your hand, as can be seen this yom. And Yahuwah said to me, See, I have begun to give Sihon and his land to you. Begin to possess, that you may inherit his land. Then Sihon came out against us, he and all his people, to fight at Yahaz. And Yahuwah our Elohim delivered him before us, and we smote him and his sons and all his people. And we took all his cities at that time, and utterly destroyed the men and the women and the little ones of every city. We left none to remain. Only the cattle we took for a prey to ourselves, and the spoil of the cities that we took. From Aroer, which is by the edge of the river Arnon, and from the city that is by the river even to Gilad, there was not one city too strong for us. Yahuwah our Elohim delivered all of them to us. Only to the land of the children of Ammon you did not come, nor to any place of the river Yavok, nor to the cities in the mountains, nor to whatever Yahuwah our Elohim has forbidden us. DEVARIM. Deuteronomy. Chapter 3. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan, and Og the Melech of Bashan came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And Yahuwah said to me, Fear him not, for I will deliver him and all his people and his land into your hand. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon Melech of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon. So Yahuwah our Elohim delivered Og into our hands also, the Melech of Bashan, and all his people, and we smote him until none of them were left with him. And we took all his cities at that time. There was not a city that we didn't take from them. 60 cities, all the region of Argov, and the Malchut of Og in Bashan. All these cities were fortified with high walls, gates, and bars, and many unwalled towns. And we utterly destroyed them, as we did to Sihon Melech of Heshbon, utterly destroying the men, women, and children of every city. But all the cattle and the spoil of the cities we took for a prey for ourselves. And we took at that time out of the hand of the two Melechim of the Amorites the land that was beyond Yarden, from the river of Arnon to Mount Hermon. Hermon is the place that the Sidonians call Sirion, and the Amorites call it Shenir. All the cities of the plain, and all Gilad, and all Bashan, to Salcha and Edrei, cities of the Malchut of Og in Bashan. For only Og Melech of Bashan remained of the remnant of the Rephaim. See, his bed frame was a bed frame of iron. Is it not in Ravat of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits was the length of it, and 4 cubits the width of it, after the cubit of a man. And this land which we possessed at that time from Aroer, which is by the river Arnon, and half of Mount Gilad, and the cities of it, I gave to the Reuvenites and to the Gadites. And the rest of Gilad and all Bashan, being the Malchut of Og, I gave to the half-tribe of Manasseh. All the region of Argov, with all Bashan, which was called the land of Rephaim. Yair the son of Manasseh took all the country of Argov to the coasts of Geshuri and Maakati, and called them even Bashan, after his own name, Havot Yair, to this yom. And I gave Gilad to Machir, and to the Reuvenites and to the Gadites I gave from Gilad even to the river Arnon half the valley, and the border even to the river Yavok, which is the border of the children of Ammon. The plain also, and Yarden, and the coast of it, from Kinneret even to the sea of the plain, even the salt sea under the slopes of Pisgah eastward. And I commanded you at that time, saying, Yahuwah your Elohim has given you this land to possess. You shall pass over armed before your brothers the children of Israel, all who are fit for the war. But your wives and your little ones and your cattle, for I know that you have much cattle, shall abide in your cities that I have given you, until Yahuwah has given rest to your brothers, as well as to you, and until they also possess the land which Yahuwah your Elohim has given them beyond Yarden. And then shall you return every man to his possession which I have given you. And I commanded Yahushua at that time, saying, Your eyes have seen all that Yahuwah your Elohim has done to these two Melechim, so shall Yahuwah do to all the Malchutim where you are going. You shall not fear them, for Yahuwah your Elohim shall fight for you. And I pleaded with Yahuwah at that time, saying, O Master Yahuwah, you have begun to show your Eved your greatness and your mighty hand. For what el is there in the Shamayim or in the earth that can do according to your works and according to your might? I ask you, let me go over and see the Tov land that is beyond the Yarden, that beautiful hill country, and Lebanon. But Yahuwah was angry with me for your sakes, and would not listen listen to me. And Yahuwah said to me, Enough of that already. Speak no more to me about this matter. Get up into the top of Pisgah, and lift up your eyes westward and northward and southward and eastward, and see it with your eyes, for you shall not go over this Yarden river. But charge Yahushua and encourage him, and strengthen him, for he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land that you shall see. So we dwelt in the valley opposite Beit Peor. DEVARIM. Deuteronomy. Chapter 4. Now therefore listen, O Yisrael, to the chukim and to the mishpatim which I teach you, for to do them, that you may live, and go in and possess the land which Yahuwah Elohim of your avot gives you. You shall not add to the word which I command you, neither shall you take away anything from it, that you may shomer the mitzvot of Yahuwah your Elohim that I command you. Your eyes have seen what Yahuwah did because of Baal Peor. For all the men who followed Baal Peor, Yahuwah your Elohim has destroyed them from among you. But you who cling to Yahuwah your Elohim are alive, every one of you, to this yom. See, I have taught you chukim and mishpatim, even as Yahuwah my Elohim commanded me, that you should do so in the land which you go to possess. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your chokmah and your binah in the sight of the nations, who shall hear all these chukim and say, Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who has Elohim so near to them, as Yahuwah our Elohim is in all things for which we call upon him? And what nation is there so great, who has chukim and mishpatim so tzaddik as all this Torah which I set before you this yom? Only take heed to yourself, and shomer your being diligently, lest you forget the things which your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from your lev, all the yamim of your chayim. But teach them to your sons and your sons' sons. The yom that you stood before Yahuwah your Elohim in Horeb, when Yahuwah said to me, Gather the people together to me, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the yamim that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And you came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burnt with fire in the midst of the Shamayim, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And Yahuwah spoke to you out of the midst of the fire. You heard the voice of the words, but saw no likeness, only you heard a voice. And he declared to you his brit, which he commanded you to perform, even the 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone. And Yahuwah commanded me at that time to teach you chukim and mishpatim, that you might do them in the land you are going to possess. Take therefore tov heed to yourselves, for you saw no manner of form on the yom that Yahuwah spoke to you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest you corrupt yourselves and make a graven image, the form of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flies in the air, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the mayim beneath the earth. And lest you lift up your eyes to the Shamayim, and when you see the sun and the moon and the Kochavim, even all the host of the Shamayim, and should be drawn to worship them and serve them, which Yahuwah your Elohim has given to all nations under the whole Shamayim. But Yahuwah has taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Mitzrayim, to be to him a people of inheritance, as you are this yom. And Yahuwah was angry with me for your sakes, and swore that I should not go over the Yarden, and that I should not go into that Tov land which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you for an inheritance. But I must die in this land. I must not go over the Yarden, but you shall go over and possess that Tov land. Take heed to yourselves, lest you forget the brit of Yahuwah your Elohim, which he made with you, and make yourself a graven image, or the likeness of anything that Yahuwah your Elohim has forbidden you. For Yahuwah your Elohim is a consuming fire, even a zealous hell. When you shall beget children and children's children, and you shall have remained a long time in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image, or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of Yahuwah your Elohim, to provoke him to anger, I call the Shamayim and earth to witness against you this yom, that you shall soon utterly perish from off the land which you are going over Yarden to possess. You shall not prolong your yamim upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And Yahuwah shall scatter you among the nations, then you shall be left few in number among the heathen, where Yahuwah shall lead you, and there you shall serve Elohim, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But if from there you shall seek Yahuwah your Elohim, you shall find him, if you seek him with all your love and with all your being. When you are in great tribulation, and all these things have come upon you, even in the latter Yamim, then you shall make teshuvah to Yahuwah your Elohim, and shall be obedient to his voice. For Yahuwah your Elohim is an El of Rachamim. He will not forsake you, neither destroy you, nor forget the brit of your avot which he swore to them. For ask now about the Yamim that are past, which were before you, since the Yom that Elohim created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of the Shamayim to the other, whether there has been any Torah as great as this, or anything that has been heard like it. Did any other people hear the voice of Elohim speaking out of the midst of the fire as you have heard, and live? Or has Elohim tried to go and take for himself a nation from the midst of another nation, by trials, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by an outstretched arm, and by great deeds, according to all that Yahuwah your Elohim did for you in Mitzrayim before your eyes? To you it was shown that you might know that Yahuwah is Elohim. There is none else beside him. Out of the Shamayim he made you to hear his voice, that he might instruct you, and upon earth he showed you his great fire, and you heard his words out of the midst of the fire, and because he loved your avot, therefore he chose their zerah after them, and brought you out in his sight with his mighty power out of Mitzrayim, to drive out nations from before you greater and mightier than you, to bring you in, to give you their land for an inheritance, as it is this Yom. Know therefore this Yom, and consider it in your live, that Yahuwah is Elohim in the Shamayim above, and upon the earth beneath. There is none else. You shall therefore shomer his chukim and his mitzvot, which I command you this Yom, that it may go well with you and with your children after you, and that you may prolong your Yamim upon the earth, which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you le'olam va'ed. Then Moshe separated 3 cities on this side of the Yarden toward the rising sun, that the killer might flee there, who might kill his neighbor unintentionally, without hating him in time past, and that fleeing to one of these cities he might live, namely Bezer in the wilderness in the plain country of the Reuvenites, and Ramot in Gilad of the Gadites, and Golan and Bashan of the Menashites. And this is the Torah that Moshe set before the children of Yisrael. These are the testimonies and the chukim and the mishpatim which Moshe spoke to the children of Yisrael after they came forth out of Mitzrayim. On this side of Yarden, in the valley opposite Beit Peor, in the land of Sichon, Melech of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moshe and the children of Yisrael smote after they had come forth out of Mitzrayim. And they possessed his land and the land of Og, Melech of Bashan, 2 Melechim of the Amorites, who were on this side of Yarden toward the rising of the sun, from Aroer, which is by the bank of the river Arnon, even to Mount Sion, which is Hermon, and all the plain on this side of the Yarden eastward, even to the sea of the plain, under the slopes of Pisgah. Devarim. Deuteronomy. Chapter 5. And Moshe called Kol Yisrael, and said to them, Hear, O Yisrael, the chukim and the mishpatim, which I speak in your hearing this Yom, that you may learn them and shomer and do them. Yahuwah our Elohim made a brit with us in Horeb. Yahuwah made not this brit with our avot, but with us, who are all of us here alive this Yom. Yahuwah talked with you Panaim el Panaim in the mount out of the midst of the fire. I stood between Yahuwah and you at that time, to show you the devar of Yahuwah, for you were afraid because of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying, I am Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim from the bayit of slavery. You shall have no other Elohim before my face. You shall not make any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the Shamayim above, or that is on the earth beneath, or that is in the Mayim beneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah your Elohim, am a zealous El, visiting the iniquity of the avot upon the children to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me, and showing rachamim to thousands of those who love me, and shomer my mitzvot. You shall not bring the name of Yahuwah your Elohim to vain emptiness, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless who brings his name to vain emptiness. Shomer Yom HaShabbat, to set it apart, as Yahuwah your Elohim has commanded you. 6 Yamim you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th Yom is the Shabbat of Yahuwah your Elohim. In it you shall not do any work, you nor your your son, nor your daughter, nor your male Eved, nor your female Eved, nor your ox, nor your donkey, nor any of your cattle, nor the ger who is within your gates, that your male Eved and your female Eved may rest as well as you. And remember that you were an Eved in the land of Mitzrayim, and that Yahuwah your Elohim brought you out from there through a mighty hand and by an outstretched arm. Therefore Yahuwah your Elohim commanded you to shomer Yom HaShabbat. Honor your Abba and your Ima, as Yahuwah your Elohim has commanded you, that your Yamim may be prolonged, and that it may go well with you in the land that Yahuwah your Elohim gives you. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, neither shall you steal, neither shall you bear false witness against your neighbor, neither shall you desire your neighbor's wife, neither shall you covet your neighbor's bayit, his field, nor his male Eved, nor his female Eved, his ox or his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. These words Yahuwah spoke to all your congregation in the mount out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice. And he added no more. And he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone, and delivered them to me. And it came to pass, when you heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, where the mountain burnt with fire, that you came near to me, even all the heads of your tribes and your Zechariah, and you said, See, Yahuwah our Elohim has shown us his Tiferet and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this Yom that Elohim talks with man, and man still lives. Now therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim any more, then we shall die. For who is there of all flesh who has heard the voice of the living Elohim speaking out of the midst of the fire as we have and lived? You go near, and hear all that Yahuwah our Elohim shall say, and speak to us all that Yahuwah our Elohim shall speak to you, and we will listen to it and do it. And Yahuwah heard the voice of your words when you spoke to me, and Yahuwah said to me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people which they have spoken to you. They have well said all that they have spoken. Oh, that there were such a lev in them, that they would fear me and shomer all my mitzvot always, that it might be well with them and with their children leolam va'ed. Go say to them, Get into your tents again. But as for you, stand here by me, and I will speak to you all the mitzvot and the chukim and the mishpatim which you shall teach them, that they may do them in the land that I give them to possess. You shall shomer to do therefore as Yahuwah your Elohim has commanded you. You shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left. You shall have your halakha in all the halachot that Yahuwah your Elohim has commanded you, that you may live, and that it may be well with you, and that you may prolong your yamim in the land that you shall possess.
DEVARIM.
Deuteronomy, chapter 6. Now these are the mitzvot, the chukim, and the mishpatim, which Yahuwah your Elohim commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land which you go to possess, that you might fear Yahuwah your Elohim, to shomer all his chukim and his mitzvot which I command you, you and your son and your son's son, all the yamim of your chayim, and that your yamim may be prolonged. Hear, O Yisrael, and shomer to do it, that it may be well with you, and that you may increase mightily, as Yahuwah Elohim of your avot has promised you, in the land that flows with milk and honey. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah is our Elohim, Yahuwah is Echad, and you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your lev, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this yom shall be in your lev, and you shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your bayit, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for an oath upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them upon the posts of your bayit and on your gates. And it shall be, when Yahuwah your Elohim shall have brought you into the land which he swore to your avot, to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, to give you great and tov cities which you did not build, and houses full of all tov things which you filled not, and wells dug which you did not dig, vineyards and olivatesim which you planted not. When you shall have eaten and are full, then beware lest you forget Yahuwah who brought you forth out of the land of Mitzrayim from the bayit of slavery. You shall fear Yahuwah your Elohim, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. You shall not go after other Elohim, the Elohim of the peoples who are all around you. For Yahuwah your Elohim is a zealous El among you, lest the anger of Yahuwah your Elohim be lit against you, and destroy you from off the face of the earth. You shall not try Yahuwah your Elohim as you tried him in Massah. You shall diligently shomer the mitzvot of Yahuwah your Elohim, and his testimonies and his chukim which he has commanded you, and you shall do that which is right and tov in the the sight of Yahuwah, that it may be well with you, and that you may go in and possess the Tov land that Yahuwah swore to your avot, to cast out all your enemies from before you, as Yahuwah has spoken. And when your son asks you in time to come, saying, What do these testimonies and chukim and mishpatim mean, which Yahuwah our Elohim has commanded you? Then you shall say to your son, We were Paro's avadim in Mitzrayim, and Yahuwah brought us out of Mitzrayim with a mighty hand. And Yahuwah showed signs and wonders great and grievous upon Mitzrayim, upon Paro, and upon his entire household before our eyes. And he brought us out from there, that he might bring us in to give us the land that he swore to our avot. And Yahuwah commanded us to do all these chukim, to fear Yahuwah our Elohim, for our tov always, that he might preserve us alive as it is this yom. And it shall be our tzedekah, if we shall merit to do all these mitzvot before Yahuwah our Elohim, as he has commanded us.
DEVARIM.
Deuteronomy, chapter 7. When Yahuwah your Elohim shall bring you into the land where you are going to possess, and has cast out many nations before you, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you, and when Yahuwah your Elohim shall deliver them before you, you shall smite them and utterly destroy them. You shall make no brit with them, nor show rachamim to them, neither shall you make marriages with them. Your daughter you shall not give to his son, nor his daughter shall you take for your son. For they will turn away your son from following me, that they may serve other Elohim. So will the anger of Yahuwah be lit against you, and destroy you suddenly. But this is how you shall deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For you are a kadosh people to Yahuwah your Elohim. Yahuwah your Elohim has chosen you to be a special people to himself, above all people who are upon the face of the earth. Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you are more in number than any people, for you are the fewest of all peoples, but because Yahuwah loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn to your avot. Therefore Yahuwah has brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the bayit of bondage, from the hand of Paro melech of Mitzrayim. Know that Yahuwah your Elohim is Elohim, the faithful El, who keeps his brit and rachamim with those who love him, and shomer his mitzvot to 1,000 generations, and repays them who hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to anyone who hates him. He will repay him to his face. You shall therefore shomer the mitzvot, and the chukim and the mishpatim, which I command you this yom to do them. Therefore it shall come to pass, if you listen to these mishpatim and shomer and do them, that Yahuwah your Elohim shall keep with you the brit and the rachamim which he swore to your avot, and he will love you and bless you and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb, and the fruit of your land, your corn and your wine and your oil, the increase of your cattle and the flocks of your sheep, in the land which he swore to your avot to give you. You shall be blessed above all peoples. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. And Yahuwah will take away from you all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Mitzrayim which you have seen and know about upon you, but will lay them upon all those who hate you. And you shall consume all the peoples whom Yahuwah your Elohim shall deliver for you. Your eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shall you serve their Elohim, for that will be a snare to you. If you shall say in your lev, These nations are greater than I, how can I dispossess them? You shall not be afraid of them, but shall well remember what Yahuwah your Elohim did to Paro and to all Mitzrayim, the great temptations which your eyes saw, and the signs and the wonders, and the mighty hand and the outstretched arm, whereby Yahuwah your Elohim brought you out. So shall Yahuwah your Elohim do to all the peoples whom you fear. Moreover, Yahuwah your Elohim will send the hornet among them, until they who are left, who hide themselves from you, will be destroyed. You shall not be afraid of them, for Yahuwah your Elohim is among you, a mighty El and awesome. And Yahuwah your Elohim will put out those nations before you little by little. You may not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon you. But Yahuwah your Elohim shall deliver them to you, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they are destroyed. And he shall deliver their Melechim into your hand, and you shall destroy their name from under the Shamayim. There shall no man be able to stand before you until you have destroyed them. The graven images of their Elohim shall you burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it for yourselves, lest you be snared with it, for it is an abomination to Yahuwah your Elohim. Neither shall you bring an abomination into your bayit, lest you be a cursed thing like it, but you shall utterly detest it, and you shall utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing.
DEVARIM.
Deuteronomy, chapter 8. All the mitzvot which I command you this yom shall you shomer to do, that you may live, and multiply, and go in to possess the land that Yahuwah swore to your avot. And you shall remember all the ways that Yahuwah your Elohim led you these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble you and to prove you, to know what was in your lev, whether you would shomer his mitzvot or not. And he humbled you, and allowed you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you knew not, neither did your avot know, that he might make you know that man does not live by lechem only, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahuwah man lives. Your garment did not wear out on you, neither did your foot swell these 40 years. You shall also consider in your lev that as a man disciplines his son, so Yahuwah your Elohim disciplines you. Therefore you shall shomer the mitzvot of Yahuwah your Elohim, to have your halakha in his halachot, and to fear him. For Yahuwah your Elohim brings you into a tov and spacious land, a land of brooks, of mayim, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig seam and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land where you shall eat lechem without scarceness. You shall not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you may dig brass. When you have eaten and are full, then you shall bless Yahuwah your Elohim for the tov land that he has given you. Beware that you forget not Yahuwah your Elohim in not keeping his mitzvot and his mishpatim and his chukim, which I command you this yom, lest when you have eaten and are full, and have built nice houses and dwelt in them, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, that your lev be lifted up, and you forget Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you forth out of the land of Mitzrayim from the bayit of bondage, who led you through that great and awesome wilderness, where there were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no mayim, who brought forth mayim out of the rock of flint, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your avot knew not, that he might humble you, and that he might test you, to do you tov at your latter end. And you say in your lev, my power and the might of my hand has gotten me this wealth. But you shall remember Yahuwah your Elohim, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his brit, which he swore to your avot, to Avraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, as it is this yom. And it shall be, if you do in any manner forget Yahuwah your Elohim, and have your halakha after other Elohim, to serve them and worship them, I testify against you this yom that you shall surely perish, and like the nations whom Yahuwah destroyed before your face, so shall you also perish, because you would not be obedient to the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim.
DEVARIM.
Deuteronomy, chapter 9. Shema Yisrael, you are to pass over Yarden this yom, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than yourself, cities great and fortified up to the Shamayim, a people great and tall, the children of the Anakim, whom you know, and of whom you have heard it said, who can stand before the children of Anak? Understand therefore this yom that Yahuwah your Elohim is he who goes over before you. As a consuming fire he shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before your face. So shall you drive them out and destroy them quickly, as Yahuwah has said to you. Do not say in your lev, after Yahuwah your Elohim has cast them out before you, saying, for my tzedekah Yahuwah has brought me in to possess this land. Rather, for the wickedness of those nations Yahuwah drives them out from before you. Not for your tzedekah, or for the uprightness of your lev, do you go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations Yahuwah your Elohim drives them out from before you, that he may perform the word which Yahuwah swore to your avot Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Understand, therefore, that Yahuwah your Elohim does not give you this tov land to possess it for your tzedekah, for you are a stiff-necked people. Remember and don't forget how you provoked Yahuwah your Elohim to wrath in the wilderness, from the yom that you departed out of the land of Mitzrayim until you came to this place. You have been rebellious against Yahuwah. Also in Horeb you provoked Yahuwah to wrath, so that Yahuwah was angry with you and wanted to destroy you. When I had gone up into the mount to receive the the tablets of stone, even the tablets of the brit that Yahuwah made with you? Then I dwelt in the mount 40 yamim and 40 nights. I neither ate lechem nor drank mayim. And Yahuwah delivered to me 2 tablets of stones, written with the finger of Elohim, and on them was written according to all the words which Yahuwah spoke with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the yom of the congregation. And it came to pass at the end of 40 yamim and 40 nights that Yahuwah gave me the 2 tablets of stone, even the tablets of the brit. And Yahuwah said to me, Arise, get down quickly from here, for your people whom you have brought forth out of Mitzrayim have corrupted themselves. They have quickly turned aside out of the halakha which I commanded them. They have made for themselves a molded image. And Yahuwah spoke to me, saying, I have seen this people, and see, it is a stiff-necked people. Leave me alone that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under the Shamayim. And I will make from you a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burnt with fire, and the 2 tablets of the brit were in my 2 hands. And I looked and saw that you had sinned against Yahuwah your Elohim, and had made a molded calf. You had turned aside quickly out of the halakha that Yahuwah had commanded you. And I took the 2 tablets, and cast them out of my 2 hands, and broke them before your eyes. And I fell down before Yahuwah as at first, 40 yamim and 40 nights. I neither ate lechem nor drank mayim, because of all your sins which you committed, in doing wickedly in the sight of Yahuwah, to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure with which Yahuwah was angry against you to destroy you. But Yahuwah heard me at that time also. And Yahuwah was very angry with Aharon, and would have destroyed him. And I made tefillah for Aharon also at the same time. And I took your sin, the calf which you had made, and burnt it with fire, and stomped on it, and ground it very small, even till it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust into the brook that descended out of the mount. And at Tavarah, and at Massah, and at Kivrot Hatavah, you provoked Yahuwah to wrath. And when Yahuwah sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land that I have given you, then you rebelled against the command of Yahuwah your Elohim, and you believed him not, nor listened to his voice. You have been rebellious against Yahuwah from the yom that I knew you. So I fell down before Yahuwah 40 yamim and 40 nights, as I fell down the first time, because Yahuwah had said he would destroy you. I made tefillah therefore to Yahuwah, and said, O Master Yahuwah, destroy not your people and your inheritance, whom you have redeemed through your greatness, whom you have brought out of Mitzrayim with a mighty hand. Remember your Avadim, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Look not to the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land from where you brought us out say, Because Yahuwah was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he has brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet they are your people and your inheritance, which you brought out by your mighty power and by your outstretched arm.
DEVARIM.
Deuteronomy, chapter 10. At that time Yahuwah said to me, Cut 2 tablets of stone like the first, and come up to me on the mount, and make an ark of wood. And I will write on the tablets the words that were in the first tablets that you broke, and you shall put them in the ark. And I made an ark of acacia wood, and cut 2 tablets of stone like the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tablets in my hand. And he wrote on the tablets, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments, which Yahuwah spoke to you on the mount, out of the midst of the fire in the yom of the congregation. And Yahuwah gave them to me. And I turned and came down from the mount, and put the tablets in the ark that I had made. And there they are, as Yahuwah commanded me. And the children of Israel took their journey from Beerot, from the children of Yaakon to Moserah. There Aharon died, and there he was buried. And Eleazar his son served in the Kohen's office in his place. From there they journeyed to Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Yotvat, a land of rivers of Mayim. At that time Yahuwah separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the testimony of Yahuwah, to stand before Yahuwah to attend to him, and to bless in his name to this yom. Therefore Levi has no part or inheritance with his brothers. Yahuwah is his inheritance, as Yahuwah your Elohim promised him. And I stayed in the mount, according to the first time, 40 yamim and 40 nights, and Yahuwah heard me at that time also, and Yahuwah chose not to destroy you. And Yahuwah said to me, Arise, take your journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land which I swore to their avot to give them. And now, Yisrael, what does Yahuwah your Elohim require of you, but to fear Yahuwah your Elohim, to have your halakha in all his halachot, and to love him, and to serve Yahuwah your Elohim with all your lev and with all your being, to shomer the mitzvot of Yahuwah, and his chukim which I command you this yom for your tov. See, the Shamayim and the Shamayim of Shamayim belong to Yahuwah your Elohim, the earth also and all that is in it. Only Yahuwah had delight in your avot to love them, and he chose their zerah after them, even above all peoples as it is this yom. Perform Brit Milah therefore on the foreskin of your lev, and be no more stiff-necked. For Yahuwah your Elohim is the Elohim of all mighty ones, and master of all masters, a great El, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality nor takes bribes. He executes the mishpat of the fatherless and widow, and loves the ger in giving him food and garments. Love therefore the ger, for you were gerim in the land of Mitzrayim. You shall fear Yahuwah your Elohim. Him shall you serve, and to him shall you cleave, and swear by his name. He is your Tehillah, and he is your Elohim, who has done for you these great and awesome things which your eyes have seen. Your avot went down into Mitzrayim with 75 persons, and now Yahuwah your Elohim has made you as the Kochavim of the Shamayim for multitude.
Devarim.
Deuteronomy, chapter 11. Therefore you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim, and shomer his charge, and his chukim, and his mishpatim, and his mitzvot always. And know you this yom, for I speak not with your children who have not known, and who have not seen the chastisement of Yahuwah your Elohim, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his outstretched arm, and his nisim, and his acts which he did in the midst of Mitzrayim to Paro the Melech of Mitzrayim, and to all his land, and what he did to the army of Mitzrayim, to their horses, and to their merkavot, how he made the mayim of the sea of reeds to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how Yahuwah has destroyed them to this yom, and what he did for you in the wilderness until you came into this place, and what he did to Datan and Aviram, the sons of Eliab the son of Reuven, how the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of Kol Yisrael. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of Yahuwah which he did. Therefore shall you shomer all the mitzvot which I command you this yom, that you may be strong and multiply, and go in to possess the land which you are going to possess, and to prolong your yamim in the land which Yahuwah swore to your avot to give to them and to their zerah, a land that flows with milk and honey. For the land which you go in to possess is not as the land of Mitzrayim from which you came out, where you sowed your zerah and watered it by foot as a garden of herbs. But the land which you are going to possess is a land of hills and valleys and a mayim to drink from the rain of the Shamayim, a land that Yahuwah your Elohim cares for. The eyes of Yahuwah your Elohim are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even to the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if you shall listen diligently to my mitzvot which I command you this yom, to love Yahuwah your Elohim, and to serve him with all your lev and with all your being, that I will give you the rain of your land in its due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that you may gather in your corn and your wine and your oil. And I will send grass in your fields for your cattle, that you may eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves that your lev be not deceived, and you turn aside and serve other Elohim and worship them. And then Yahuwah's wrath be lit against you, and he will shut up the Shamayim, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not its fruit, and you perish quickly from off the Tov land which Yahuwah gives you. Therefore shall you lay up my words in your lev and in your being, and bind them for an oath upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall teach them to your children, speaking of them when you sit in your bayit, and when you walk by the derech, when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your bayit and upon your gates, that your yamim may be multiplied in the yamim of your children in the land which Yahuwah swore to your avot to give them, as the yamim of the Shamayim are above the earth. For if you shall diligently shomer all these mitzvot that I command you to do them, to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to have your halakha in all his halachot, and to cleave to him, then will Yahuwah drive out all these nations from before you, and you shall possess greater nations and mightier ones than yourselves. Every place the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Perat, Euphrates, even to the western sea shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for Yahuwah your Elohim shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that you shall tread upon, as he has said to you. See, I set before you this yom a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the mitzvot of Yahuwah your Elohim which I command you this yom, and a curse if you will not obey the mitzvot of Yahuwah your Elohim, but turn aside out of the derek which I command you this yom, to go after other Elohim, which you have not known. And it shall come to pass, when Yahuwah your Elohim has brought you into the land which you go to possess, that you shall put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal. Are they not on the other side of the Yarden, by the derek where the sun goes down, in the land of the Canaanites, who dwell in the desert plain opposite Gilgal, beside the plains of Moreh? For you shall pass over the Yarden to go in to possess the land that Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, and you shall possess it and dwell there, and you shall shomer to do all the chukim and mishpatim that I set before you this yom.
DEVARIM.
Deuteronomy, chapter 12. These are the chukim and mishpatim which you shall shomer to do in the land which Yahuwah Elohim of your avot gives you to possess, all the yamim that you live upon the earth. You shall utterly destroy all the places in which the nations which you shall possess served their Elohim, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green oaks. And you shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their asherim with fire. And you shall cut down the graven images of their Elohim and destroy their names out of the place. You shall not do so to Yahuwah your Elohim, but to the place that Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even to his dwelling shall you seek, and there you shall come. And there you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your maaser, and heave offerings of your hand, and your vows, and your teruma offerings, and the becharot of your herds and of your flocks. And there you shall eat before Yahuwah your Elohim, and you shall gilah in all that you put your hand to, you and your households in which Yahuwah your Elohim has blessed you. You shall not do after all the things that we do here this yom, every man whatever is right in his own eyes. For you have not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you. But when you go over the Yarden, and dwell in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you to inherit, and when he gives you the rest from all your enemies all around, so that you dwell in safety, then there shall be a place which Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose to cause his name to dwell. There shall you bring all that I command you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your maaser and the heave offering of your hand, and all your choice vows which you vow to Yahuwah. And you shall gilah before Yahuwah your Elohim, you and your sons and your daughters, and your male avadim and your female avadim, and the Lewi that is within your gates, because he has no part or inheritance with you. Take heed to yourself that you offer not your burnt offerings in every place that you see, but in the place which Yahuwah shall choose in one of your tribes. There you shall offer your burnt offerings, and there you shall do all that I command you. Whatever you desire you may kill and eat in all your gates, according to the blessing of Yahuwah your Elohim which he has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat of it, of the gazelle and deer alike. Only you shall not eat the dam. You shall pour it upon the earth as mayim. You may not eat within your gates the maaser of your corn, or of your wine, nor of your oil, or the becharot of your herds, or of your flock, nor any of your vows which you vowed, nor your teruma offerings or heave offering of your hand. But you must eat them before Yahuwah your Elohim in the place which Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose. You and your son and your daughter and your male eved and your female eved and the Lewi who is within your gates. And you shall gilah before Yahuwah your Elohim in all that you put your hands to undertake. Guard yourself that you forsake not the Lewi as long as you live upon the earth. When Yahuwah your Elohim shall enlarge your border as he promised you, and you shall say, I will eat meat, because your being longs to eat flesh, you may eat flesh, whatever your being desires. If the place where Yahuwah your Elohim has chosen to put his name is too far from you, then you shall kill of your herd and of your flock, which Yahuwah has given you, as I have commanded you, and you shall eat in your gates whatever your being desires. Even as the gazelle and the deer are eaten, so you shall eat them. The unclean and the clean man shall eat of them alike. Only be sure that you eat not the dam, for the dam is the chayim, and you may not eat the chayim with the meat. You shall not eat it. You shall pour it upon the earth as mayim. You shall not eat it, that it may go well with you and with your children after you, when you shall do that which is right in the sight of Yahuwah. Only your kadosh things which you have, and your vows you shall take, and go to the place which Yahuwah shall choose. And you shall offer your burnt offerings, the meat and the dam, upon the altar of Yahuwah your Elohim. And the dam of your sacrifices shall be poured out upon the altar of Yahuwah your Elohim, and you shall eat the meat. Shomer and hear all these words which I command you, that it may go well with you you and with your children after you, Leolam Va'ed, when you do that which is tov and right in the sight of Yahuwah your Elohim. When Yahuwah your Elohim shall cut off the nations from before you, that you are going to possess, and you dispossess them, and dwell in their land. Guard yourself that you are not ensnared by following them after they are destroyed from before you, and that you inquire not after their Elohim, saying, How did these nations serve their Elohim? Even so will I do too. You shall not do so to Yahuwah your Elohim, for every abomination to Yahuwah that he hates have they done to their Elohim, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their Elohim. Whatever I am commanding you, Shomer, to do it. You shall not add to it, nor take away from it.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 13. If there arise among you a Navi, or a dreamer of dreams, to give you an oath or a wonder, and the oath or the wonder come to pass, of which he spoke to you, saying, Let us go after other Elohim which you have not known, and let us serve them. You shall not listen to the words of that Navi or that dreamer of dreams, for Yahuwah your Elohim tests you to know whether you love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your love and with all your being. You shall have your halakha after Yahuwah your Elohim, and fear him, and shomer his mitzvot, and obey his voice, and you shall serve him and cleave to him. And that Navi or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, and redeemed you out of the bayit of slavery, in order to draw you away from the halakha that Yahuwah your Elohim commanded you to have. So shall you put the evil away from the midst of you. If your brother the son of your Ima, or your son or your daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your chaver, who is as your own being, entices you secretly, saying, Let us go and serve other Elohim, whom you have not known, you nor your avot, namely, of the Elohim of the people who are all around you, near to you, or far off from you, from one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth. You shall not agree with him or listen to him, neither shall your eye pity him, neither shall you spare, neither shall you conceal him, but you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people. And you shall stone him with stones, that he die, because he has sought to tear you away from Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim from the bayit of slavery. And Kol Yisrael shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this among you. If you shall hear someone from one of your cities, that Yahuwah your Elohim has given you to dwell in, saying, Certain men, the children of Belial, have gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their cities, saying, Let us go and serve other Elohim, whom you have not known. Then shall you inquire and search and ask diligently, and see if it is emet, and if the thing is certain that such abomination is done among you. You shall surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is in it, and the cattle of it with the edge of the sword. And you shall gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street, and shall burn with fire the city, and all the spoil of it, for Yahuwah your Elohim, and it shall be a heap. Leolam Va'ed, it shall not be built again, and there shall cleave none of the cursed thing to your hand, so that Yahuwah may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and show you rachamim, and have compassion upon you, and multiply you as he has sworn to your avot. When you shall listen to the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to shomer all his mitzvot that I command you this yom, to do that which is tzaddik in the eyes of Yahuwah your Elohim. DEVARIM. Deuteronomy. Chapter 14. You are the children of Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall not cut yourselves nor shave between your eyes for the dead. For you are a kadosh people to Yahuwah your Elohim, and Yahuwah has chosen you to be a treasured possession, a people for himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. You shall not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts that you shall eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the deer, and the gazelle, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the mountain goat, and the wild ox, and the mountain sheep. And every beast that parts the hoof, and splits the hoof in two, and chews the cud, are among the beasts that you shall eat. Nevertheless, these you shall not eat of those that chew the cud, or of those that split the hoof, like the camel and the hare and the rabbit, for they chew the cud, but split not the hoof, therefore they are unclean to you. And the swine, because it parts the hoof, yet chews not the cud, it is unclean to you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead body. These you shall eat of all those that are in the Mayim. All that have fins and scales you shall eat. And whatever has not fins and scales you may not eat, it is unclean to you. Of all the clean birds you shall eat, but these are they of which you shall not eat, the eagle and the vulture and the black vulture, and the red kite and the falcon and the buzzard after their kinds, and every raven after its kind, and the ostrich and the nighthawk, and the seagull and the hawk after its kind, the little owl and the great owl, and the white owl, and the pelican and the carrion vulture, and the fisher owl, and the stork and the heron after its kind, and the lapwing and the bat. And every creeping thing that flies is unclean to you. They shall not be eaten. But of all clean birds you may eat. You shall not eat of anything that dies by itself. You shall give it to the ger who is within your gates, that he may eat it, or you may sell it to an alien. For you are a kadosh people to Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall not cook a kid in its emas milk. You shall truly give maaser of all the increase of your zerah that the field brings forth year by year. And you shall eat before Yahuwah your Elohim in the place that he shall choose to place his name there. The maaser of your corn, of your wine, and of your oil, and the becharot of your herds and of your flocks, that you may learn to fear Yahuwah your Elohim always. And if the derech is too long for you, so that you are not able to carry it, or if the place is too far from you, where Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose to set his name, when Yahuwah your Elohim has blessed you, then shall you turn it into money, and bind up the money in your hand, and shall go to the place which Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose. And you shall bestow that money for whatever your being desires after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatever your being desires. And you shall eat there before Yahuwah your Elohim, and you shall gilah, you and your household. And the Lewi who is within your gates you shall not forsake, for he has no part or inheritance with you. At the end of 3 years you shall bring forth all the maaser of your increase the same year, and shall lay it up within your gates. And the Lewi, because he has no part nor inheritance with you, and the ger, and the fatherless, and the widow, who are within your gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that Yahuwah your Elohim may bless you in all the work of your hands which you do.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 15. At the end of every 7 years you shall make a release, and this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lends anything to his neighbor shall release it. He shall not require it from his neighbor or from his brother, because it is called Yahuwah's release. From a foreigner you may exact it again, but that which is yours with your brother your hand shall release. There shall be no poor among you, for Yahuwah shall greatly bless you in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you for an inheritance to possess. Only if you carefully listen to the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to shemer and to do all these mitzvot which I command you this yom. For Yahuwah your Elohim will bless you as he promised you, and you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow, and you shall reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over you. If there is among you a poor man of one of your brothers within any of your gates in your land which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, you shall not harden your lev, nor shut your hand from your poor brother, but you shall open your hand wide to him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he needs. Beware that there is not a thought of Belial in your lev, saying, the 7th year, the year of release, is at hand, and your eye be evil against your poor brother, and you give him no release. And he cries to Yahuwah against you, and it becomes sin for you. You shall surely give him the release, and your lev shall not be grieved when you give it to him, because for this thing Yahuwah your Elohim shall bless you in all your works, and in all that you put your hand to undertake. For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall open your hand wide to your brother, to your poor, and to your needy in your land. And if your brother, an Ivri man or an Ivri woman, is sold to you and serves you 6 years, then in the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. And when you send him out free from you, you shall not let him go away empty-handed. You shall furnish him liberally out of your flock, and out of your floor, and out of your winepress. Of that which Yahuwah your Elohim has blessed you, you shall give to him. And you shall remember that you were an Eved in the land of Mitzrayim, and Yahuwah your Elohim redeemed you. Therefore I command you this thing today. And it shall be, if he says to you, I will not go away from you, because he loves you and your bayit, because he fares well with you, then you shall take an awl and thrust it through his ear to the door, and he shall be your Eved le'olam va'ed. And also to your female Eved you shall do likewise. It shall not seem hard to you when you send him away free from you, for he has been worth twice as much as a hired Eved to you in serving you 6 years. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall bless you in all that you do. All the Bachor males that come from your herd and from your flock you shall set apart to Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall do no work with the Bachor of your herd, nor shear the Bachor of your sheep. You shall eat it before Yahuwah your Elohim year by year in the place that Yahuwah shall choose, you and your household. And if there is any blemish in it, such as if it is lame or blind or has any ill blemish, you shall not sacrifice it to Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall eat it within your gates. The unclean and the clean person shall eat it alike as the gazelle and as the deer. Only you shall not eat the dam of it. You shall pour it upon the ground as mayim.
Devarim. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 16. Shomer the month Aviv, and Shomer the Pesach to Yahuwah your Elohim, for in the month Aviv Yahuwah your Elohim brought you forth out of Mitzrayim by night. You shall therefore sacrifice the Pesach to Yahuwah your Elohim from the flock and the herd, in the place that Yahuwah shall choose to place his name. You shall eat no leavened lechem with it. 7 yamim you shall eat matzah with it, even the lechem of affliction, for you came forth out of the land of Mitzrayim in haste, that you may remember the yom when you came forth out of the land of Mitzrayim all the yamim of your chayim. And there shall be no leavened lechem seen with you in all your borders 7 yamim, neither any of the meat which you sacrificed the first yom at evening remain all night until the morning. You may not sacrifice the Pesach within any of your gates which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, but at the place that Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose to place his name, there you shall sacrifice the Pesach at evening, at the going down of the sun, at the season that you came forth out of Mitzrayim. And you shall roast and eat it in the place that Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose. And you shall return in the morning and go to your tents. 6 yamim you shall eat matzah, and on the 7th yom shall be a mikra kodesh to Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall do no work in it. 7 weeks shall you number. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as you begin to put the sickle to the standing grain. And you shall shomer the Hag Shavuot to Yahuwah your Elohim, with a tribute of a teruma offering from your hand, which you shall give to Yahuwah your Elohim, according to how Yahuwah your Elohim has blessed you. And you shall gilah before Yahuwah your Elohim, you and your son and your daughter, and your male Eved and your female Eved, and the Lewi who is within your gates, and the ger and the fatherless and the widow who are among you, in the place which Yahuwah your Elohim has chosen to place his name. And you shall remember that you were an Eved in Mitzrayim, and you shall shomer and do these chukim. You shall shomer Hag Sukkot 7 yamim, after you have gathered in your corn and your wine. And you shall gilah in your Hag, you and your son and your daughter and your male Eved and your female Eved, and the Lewi, the ger, and the fatherless, and the widow who are within your gates. 7 yamim shall you shomer a solemn Chag to Yahuwah your Elohim in the place which Yahuwah shall choose, because Yahuwah your Elohim shall bless you in all your increase, and in all the works of your hands. Therefore you shall surely gilah. 3 times in a year shall all your males appear before Yahuwah your Elohim in the place which he shall choose, at Chag Matzot, and at Chag Shavuot, and at Chag Sukkot. And they shall not appear before Yahuwah empty-handed. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the bracha of Yahuwah your Elohim that he has given you. Shoftim and officers shall you appoint in all your gates, which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, throughout your tribes, and they shall judge the people with just mishpat. You shall not distort mishpat. You shall not respect persons, neither take a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and perverts the words of the tzaddik. That which is fully just shall you follow, that you may live and inherit the land that Yahuwah your Elohim gives you. You shall not plant a grove of any 8 seam near the altar of Yahuwah your Elohim which you shall make, neither shall you set up any pillar which Yahuwah your Elohim hates.
Devarim. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 17. You shall not sacrifice to Yahuwah your Elohim any bull or sheep in which there is a blemish or any evil matter, for that is an abomination to Yahuwah your Elohim. If there is found among you within any of your gates, which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, man or woman who has done wickedness in the sight of Yahuwah your Elohim, in transgressing his brit, and has gone and served other Elohim, and worshipped them, either the sun nor moon, or any of the host of the Shamayim, which I have not commanded, and it is told to you, and you have heard of it, and inquired diligently, and it is emet, and the thing is certain that such abomination is done in Yisrael, then shall you bring forth that man or that woman who has committed that wicked thing to your gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones until they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he who is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So you shall put the evil away from among you. If there arises a matter too hard for you in Mishpat, between dam and dam, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within your gates, then shall you arise and get up into the place which Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose, and you shall come to the Kohanim the Lewim, and to the Shofet who shall be in those Yamim, and inquire, and they shall show you the sentence of Mishpat, and you shall do according to the sentence which they of that place which Yahuwah shall choose shall show you, and you shall shomer to do according to all that they inform you, according to the sentence of the Torah that they shall teach you, and according to the Mishpat that they shall tell you, you shall do. You shall not decline from the ruling which they shall show you to the right hand nor to the left. And the man who will do arrogantly and will not listen to the Kohen who stands to attend there before Yahuwah your Elohim, or to the Shofet, even that man shall die, and you shall put away the evil from Yisrael. And all the people shall hear and fear and not do arrogantly. When you are come to the land that Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, and shall possess it, and shall dwell in it, and shall say, I will set a melech over me, like all the nations who are around me. You shall certainly set a melech over you, whom Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose. One from among your brothers shall you set as melech over you. You may not set a ger over you, who is not your brother. But he must not multiply horses for himself, nor cause the people to return to Mitzrayim, so that he can multiply horses. Because, as Yahuwah has said to you, you shall not return any more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, so that his lev turns not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply for himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sits upon the kisei of his malchut, that he shall write himself a copy of this Torah in a scroll out of that which is before the Kohanim the Lewim. And it shall be with him, and he shall read it all the yamim of his chayim, that he may learn to fear Yahuwah his Elohim, to shomer all the words of this Torah and these chukim to do them, that his lev may not be lifted up above his brothers, and that he may not turn aside from the mitzvah to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his yamim in his malchut, he and his children in the midst of Yisrael.
Devarim. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 18. The Kohanim the Lewim, and all the tribe of Lewi, shall have no part or inheritance with Yisrael. They shall eat the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire, and his inheritance. They shall have no inheritance among their brothers. Yahuwah is their inheritance, as he has said to them. And this shall be the Kohen's due from the people, from those who offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give to the Kohen the thigh, and the 2 cheeks, and the stomach. The bikurim also of your corn, of your wine, and of your oil, and the first of the fleece of your sheep shall you give him. For Yahuwah your Elohim has chosen him out of all your tribes, to stand to attend in the name of Yahuwah, him and his sons Leolam Va'ed. And if a Lewi comes from any of your gates out of Kol Yisrael, where he sojourned, and comes with all the desire of his mind to the place that Yahuwah shall choose, then he shall attend in the name of Yahuwah his Elohim, as all his brothers the Lewim do, who stand there before Yahuwah. They shall have like portions to eat, besides that which comes from the sale of his inheritance. When you have come into the land that Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, you shall not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that makes his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or who uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a spellcaster, or a consulter with familiar ruachim, or a wizard, or one who calls up the dead. For all who do these things are an abomination to Yahuwah, and because of these abominations Yahuwah your Elohim drives them out from before you. You shall be perfect with Yahuwah your Elohim, for these nations which you shall possess listened to observers of times and to diviners. But as for you, Yahuwah your Elohim has not allowed you to do so. Yahuwah your Elohim will raise up to you a Navi from the midst of you, from your brothers, like me. To him you shall listen, according to all that you desired of Yahuwah your Elohim in Horeb in the Yom of the congregation, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of Yahuwah my Elohim, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And Yahuwah said to me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a Navi from among their brothers like you, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whoever will not listen to my words that he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the Navi who shall presume to speak a word in my name which I have not commanded him to speak, or who shall speak in the name of other Elohim, even that Navi shall die. And if you say in your lev, How shall we know the word that Yahuwah has not spoken? When a Navi speaks in the name of Yahuwah, if the thing follows not, nor comes to pass, that is the thing which Yahuwah has not spoken. But the Navi has spoken it presumptuously. You shall not be afraid of him.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 19. When Yahuwah your Elohim has cut off the nations whose land Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, and you dispossess them, and dwell in their cities and in their houses, you shall separate 3 cities for yourselves in the midst of your land, which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you to possess. You shall prepare a derech, and divide the coasts of your land, which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you to inherit, into 3 parts, that every killer may flee there. And this is the case of the killer who shall flee there, that he may live. Whoever kills his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past, as when a man goes into the woods with his neighbor to cut wood, and his hand swings with the axe to cut down the adze, and the head slips from the handle and strikes his neighbor so that he dies, he shall flee to one of those cities and live, lest the revenger of the dam pursue the killer while his live is hot, and overtake him because the derrick is long, and slays him, whereas he was not worthy of death, because he hated him not in time past. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall separate 3 cities for yourselves. And if Yahuwah your Elohim enlarges your coast, as he has sworn to your avot, and gives you all the land that he promised to give to your avot, if you shall shomer all these mitzvot to do them which I command you this yom, to love Yahuwah your Elohim, and to have your halakha always in his halachot, then shall you add 3 cities more for yourselves beside these 3, that innocent dam be not shed, so that dam be upon you in your land, which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you for an inheritance. But if any man hates his neighbor, and lies in wait for him, and rises up against him, and smites him so that he dies, and flees into one of these cities, then the Zechanim of his city shall send and fetch him there, and deliver him into the hand of the revenger of dam, that he may die. Your eyes shall not pity him, but you shall put away the guilt of innocent dam from Yisrael, that it may go well with you. You shall not remove your neighbor's landmark, which those of past time have set in your inheritance, which you shall inherit in the land that Yahuwah your Elohim gives you to possess. 1 witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. If a false witness rises up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before Yahuwah, before the Kohanim and the Shoftim who shall serve in those Yamim. And the Shoftim shall make diligent inquiry, and see if the witness is a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother. Then you shall do to him as he had thought to have done to his brother. So shall you put the evil away from among you. And those who remain shall hear and fear, and shall commit no more any such evil among you. And your eye shall not pity, but Chaim shall go for Chaim, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 20. When you go out to battle against your enemies, and see horses and merkavot, and a people more than you, be not afraid of them. For Yahuwah your Elohim is with you, who brought you up out of the land of Mitzrayim. And it shall be, when you come near to the battle, that the Kohen shall approach and speak to the people, and shall say to them, Shema Yisrael, you approach this yom to battle against your enemies. Let not your levavot faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be terrified because of them. For Yahuwah your Elohim is he who goes with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officers shall speak to the people, saying, What man is there who has built a new bayit, and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his bayit, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And what man is he who has planted a vineyard, and has not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return to his bayit, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there who has engaged a wife, and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his bayit, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further to the people, and they shall say, What man is there who is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return to his bayit, lest his brothers live faint as well as his live. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking to the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When you come near a city to fight against it, then proclaim shalom to it. And it shall be, if it gives you an answer of shalom and opens to you, then it shall be that all the people who are found in it shall be compulsory labor to you, and they shall serve you. And if it will make no shalom with you, but will make war against you, then you shall besiege it. And when Yahuwah your Elohim has delivered it into your hands, you shall smite every male in it with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil in it, shall you take for yourselves, and you shall eat the spoil of your enemies, which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you. This shall you do to all the cities which are very far off from you, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, whom Yahuwah your Elohim Elohim gives you for an inheritance, you shall save alive nothing that breathes, but you shall utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, as Yahuwah your Elohim has commanded you, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations which they have done to their Elohim. So do not sin against Yahuwah your Elohim. When you shall besiege a city a long time, in making war against it to take it, you shall not destroy the eight-seam in it by wielding an axe against them, for you may eat of them, and you shall not cut them down. For the eights of the field is man's chayim, to use them in the siege. Only the eight-seam that you know that they are not eight-seam for food, you shall destroy and cut them down, and you shall build bulwarks against the city that makes war with you, until it falls.
Devarim. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 21. If one is found slain in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you to possess, lying in the field, and it is not known who has slain him, then your Zechariah and your Shoftim shall come forth, and they shall measure the distance to the cities which are around him who is slain. And it shall be that the city that is next to the slain man, even the Zechariah of that city shall take a heifer which has not been worked, and which has not drawn in the yoke. And the Zechariah of that city shall bring down the heifer to a rough valley which is neither plowed nor sown, and shall cut off the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the Kohanim, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for Yahuwah your Elohim has chosen them to attend to him, and to bless in the name of Yahuwah. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And all the Zechariah of that city, who are next to the slain man, shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this dam, neither have our eyes seen it. Atone, O Yahuwah, for your people Yisrael, whom you have redeemed, and lay not innocent dam to your people Yisrael's charge, and the dam shall be forgiven them. So shall you put away the guilt of innocent dam from among you, when you shall do that which is right in the sight of Yahuwah. When you go forth to war against your enemies, and Yahuwah your Elohim has delivered them into your hands, and you have taken them captive, and see among the captives a beautiful woman, and have a desire for her that you would have her to be your wife, then you shall bring her home to your bayit, and she shall shave her head and trim her nails, and she shall put off the garment of her captivity, and shall remain in your bayit, and bewail her Abba and her Ema a full month. And after that you shall go into her, and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. And it shall be, if you have no delight in her, then you shall let her go where she will, but you shall not sell her at all for money. You shall not make merchandise of her, because you have humbled her. If a man has two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the Bachor's son be hers who was hated, then it shall be, when he makes his sons to inherit that which he has, that he may not give preference to the son of the beloved wife before the son of the hated, who is indeed the Bachor. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated as the Bachor, by giving him a double portion of all that he has. For he is the beginning of his strength, the right of the Bachor is his. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son, who will not obey the voice of his Abba or the voice of his Ema, and that when they have disciplined him will not listen to them, then shall his Abba and his Ema lay hold on him, and bring him out to the Zechariah of his city, and to the gate of his place. And they shall say to the Zechariah of his city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, so that he dies. So shall you put evil away from among you, and Kol Yisrael shall hear and fear. And if a man has committed a sin worthy of death, then he shall be put to death, and you shall hang him on an eighth. His body shall not remain all night upon the eighth, but you shall bury him that yom, for he who is hanged is cursed by Elohim, that your land be not defiled, which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you for an inheritance.
Devarim. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 22. You shall not see your brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide yourself from them. You shall without fail bring them again to your brother. And if your brother is not near to you, or if you know him not, then you shall bring it to your own bayit, and it shall be with you until your brother seeks after it, and you shall restore it to him again. In like manner shall you do with his donkey, and so shall you do with his garment, and with all lost things of your brother, which he has lost, and you have found, shall you do likewise. You may not hide yourself. You shall not see your brother's donkey donkey or his ox fall down by the way, and hide yourself from them. You shall surely help him to lift them up again. The woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all who do so are an abomination to Yahweh your Elohim. If a bird's nest by chance is before you in the derech, in any eights or on the ground, with young ones or eggs, and the ema is sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, you shall not take the ema with the young, but you shall in any case let the ema go, and take the young for yourself, that it may be well with you, and that you may prolong your yamim. When you build a new bayit, then you shall make a guardrail for your roof, that you bring not down upon your bayit, if any man fall from there. You shall not sow your vineyard with different zerah, lest the fruit of your zerah that you have sown and the fruit of your vineyard be kadosh and forfeited. You shall not plow with an ox and a donkey together. You shall not wear a garment of different sorts, as of wool and linen together. You shall make for yourself tzitzit upon the four corners of your garment, with which you cover yourself. If any man takes a wife and goes into her and hates her, and makes abusive charges against her, and brings up an evil name upon her, and says, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a virgin, then shall the Abba of the damsel and the Ema take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity to the Zechariah of the city in the gate. And the damsel's Abba shall say to the Zechariah, I gave my daughter to this man to be a wife, and he hates her. And see, he has made an accusation against her, saying, I found not your daughter a virgin, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the Zechariah of the city, and the Zechariah of that city shall take that man and discipline him. And they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and give them to the Abba of the damsel, because he has brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his yamim. But if this thing is emet, and the tokens of virginity are not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her Abba's bayit, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, so that she dies, because she has done folly in Israel to play the whore in her Abba's bayit. So shall you put evil away from among you. If a man is found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both die, both the man who lay with the woman and the woman. So shall you put away evil from Israel. If a damsel who is a virgin is engaged to a husband, and a man find her in the city, and lie with her, then you shall bring them both out to the gate of that city, and you shall stone them with stones, that they die. The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he has humbled his neighbor's wife. So you shall put away evil from among you. But if a man find an engaged damsel in the field, and the man forces her and lies with her, then the man only who lay with her shall die. But to the damsel you shall do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises up against his neighbor and slays him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the engaged damsel cried, and there were none to save her. If a man finds a damsel who is a virgin, who is not engaged, and lays hold of her and lies with her, and they are found, then the man who lay with her shall give to the damsel's Abba 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his yamim. A man shall not take his Abba's wife, nor discover his Abba's skirt.
Devarim. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 23. He who is wounded in the stones, or has his private member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of Yahuwah. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of Yahuwah, even to his 10th generation. He shall not enter into the congregation of Yahuwah. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of Yahuwah, even to their 10th generation. They shall not enter into the congregation of Yahuwah leolam va'ed, because they met you not with lechem and with mayim on the way when you came forth out of Mitzrayim, and because they hired Bilam the son of Beor of Pethor of Mesopotamia against you to curse you. Nevertheless Yahuwah your Elohim would not listen to Bilam, but Yahuwah your Elohim turned the curse into a blessing for you, because Yahuwah your Elohim loved you. You shall not seek their shalom nor their prosperity all your yamim leolam va'ed. You shall not abhor an Edomite, for he is your brother. You shall not abhor a Mitzri, because you are a ger in his land. The children who are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation abomination of Yahuwah in their third generation. When your army goes forth against your enemies, then guard yourself from every wicked thing. If there is among you any man who is not clean by reason of emission at night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp. But it shall be, when evening comes, he shall wash himself with mayim, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. You shall have a place also outside the camp where you shall go forth abroad, and you shall have a paddle upon your weapon. And it shall be, when you will ease yourself outside, you shall dig there, and shall turn and cover your excrement. For Yahuwah your Elohim walks in the midst of your camp to deliver you, and to give up your enemies before you. Therefore shall your camp be kadosh, that he see no unclean thing in you, and turn away from you. You shall not deliver back to his master the Eved who has escaped from his master to you. He shall dwell with you, even among you, in that place which he shall choose in one of your gates, where it suits him best. You shall not oppress him. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. You shall not bring the hire of a whore, or the price of a dog, into the bayit of Yahuwah your Elohim for any vow, for even both these are abominations to Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall not lend with interest to your brother, interest of money, interest of food, interest of anything that is lent upon interest. Unto a ger you may lend with interest, but to your brother you shall not lend with interest, that Yahuwah your Elohim may bless you in all that you set your hand to, in the land which you are going to possess. When you shall vow a vow to Yahuwah your Elohim, you shall not be slack to pay it, for Yahuwah your Elohim will surely require it of you, and it would be sin to you. But if you shall abstain to vow, there shall be no sin in you. That which is gone out of your lips you shall shomer to perform, even a teruma offering according as you have vowed to Yahuwah your Elohim, which you have promised with your mouth. When you come into your neighbor's vineyard, then you may eat grapes to your fill at your own pleasure, but you shall not put any in your vessel. When you come into the standing corn of your neighbor, then you may pluck the ears with your hand, but you shall not use a sickle for your neighbor's standing corn.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 24. When a man has taken a wife and married her, and it comes to pass that she finds no favor in his eyes, because he has found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a get, and put it in her hand, and send her out of his bayit. And when she is departed out of his bayit, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hates her, and writes her a get, and puts it in her hand, and sends her out of his bayit, or if the latter husband dies, who took her to be his wife, her former husband who sent her away may not take her again to be his wife after she is defiled, for that is abomination before Yahuwah. And you shall not cause the land to sin which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you for an inheritance. When a man has taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife whom he has taken. No man shall take the mill or the upper millstone as a pledge, for he takes a man's chayim as a pledge. If a man is found kidnapping any of his brothers of the children of Israel, and makes merchandise of him, or sells him, then that thief shall die, and you shall put evil away from among you. Take heed in the plague of leprosy, that you shomer diligently to do according to all that the Kohanim the Levim shall teach you, as I commanded them, so you shall shomer to do. Remember what Yahuwah your Elohim did to Miriam in the derech, after you had come forth out of Mitzrayim. When you lend your brother anything, you shall not go into his bayit to get his pledge. You shall stand outside, and the man to whom you lend shall bring the pledge outside to you. And if the man is poor, you shall not sleep with his pledge. In any case you shall deliver to him the pledge again when the sun goes down, that he may sleep in his own garment, and bless you, and it shall be tzedekah to you before Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall not oppress a hired Eved who is poor and needy, whether he is of your brothers or of your gerim who are in your land within your gates. Daily you shall give him his wages, neither shall a sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and sets his love upon it, lest he cries out against you to Yahuwah, and it is sin to you. The avot shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the avot. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. You shall not pervert the mishpat of the ger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's garment. But you shall remember that you were an Eved in Mitzrayim, and Yahuwah your Elohim redeemed you there. Therefore I command you to do this thing. When you cut down your harvest in your field, and have forgotten a sheaf in the field, you shall not go go again to get it. It shall be for the ger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that Yahweh your Elohim may bless you in all the work of your hands. When you beat your olives, you shall not examine the branch behind you. It shall be for the ger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, you shall not glean it afterward. It shall be for the ger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. And you shall remember that you are an Eved in the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore I command you to do this thing.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 25. If there is a controversy between men, and they come from Mishpat, the Shoftim may judge them, then they shall justify the tzaddik and condemn the wicked. And it shall be, if the wicked man is worthy to be beaten, that the shofet shall cause him to lie down, and to be beaten before his face, according to his fault, by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give him, and not more, lest if he should continue to beat him above these with many stripes, then your brother should be degraded before you. You shall not muzzle the ox when it treads out the corn. If brothers dwell together, and one of them dies and has no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry a ger. Her husband's brother shall go into her, and take her to himself as a wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother to her. And it shall be that the Bachor whom she bears shall succeed in the name of his brother who is dead, that his name be not put out of Yisrael. And if the man does not like to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate to the Zechariah, and say, My husband's brother refuses to raise up to his brother a name in Yisrael. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the Zechariah of his city shall call him and speak to him. And if he persists and says, I desire not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come to him in the presence of the Zechariah, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, So shall it be done to that man who will not build up his brother's bayit. And his name shall be called in Yisrael, the bayit of him who has his shoe loosed. When men strive together one with another, and the wife of the one draws near to deliver her husband out of the hand of the one who smites him, and puts forth her hand and takes him by the private parts, then you shall cut off her hand. Your eye shall not pity her. You shall not have in your bag different weights, a great and a small. You shall not have in your bayit different measures, a great and a small. But you shall have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure shall you have, that your yamim may be lengthened in the land that Yahweh your Elohim gives you. For all who do such things, and all who do unrighteously, are an abomination to Yahweh your Elohim. Remember what Amalek did to you in the derek when you came out of Mitzrayim, how he met you by the way and attacked your rear, even all those who were feeble behind you, when you were faint and weary, and he feared not Elohim. Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh your Elohim has given you rest from all your enemies all around, in the land which Yahweh your Elohim gives you for an inheritance to possess, that you shall blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under the Shamayim. You shall not forget to do it.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 26. And it shall be, when you come into the land that Yahweh your Elohim gives you for an inheritance, to possess it and dwell in it, that you shall take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which you shall bring from your land that Yahweh your Elohim gives you, and shall put it in a basket, and shall go to the place which Yahweh your Elohim shall choose to place his name, and you shall go to the Kohen, who shall be in those Yamim, and say to him, I profess this Yom to Yahweh your Elohim, that I am come to the country which Yahweh swore to our avot to give us. And the Kohen shall take the basket out of your hand, and set it down before the altar of Yahweh your Elohim. And you shall speak and say before Yahweh your Elohim, An Aramean ready to perish was my Abba, and he went down into Mitzrayim, and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation great, mighty, and populous. And the Mitzrayim treated us wickedly, and afflicted us, and laid upon us hard slavery. And when we cried to Yahweh Elohim of our avot, Yahweh heard our voice, and looked on our affliction, and our labor, and our oppression. And Yahweh brought us forth out of Mitzrayim with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with great fear, and with signs, and with wonders. And he has brought us into this place, and has given us this land, even a land that flows with milk and honey. And now see, I have brought the Bikurim of the land, which you, O Yahweh, have given me. And you shall set it before Yahweh your Elohim, and worship before Yahweh your Elohim. And you shall Gilah in every tov thing that Yahweh your Elohim has given given to you, and to your Bayit, you and the Lewi and the Ger who is among you. When you have made an end of tithing all the Maaser of your increase the 3rd year, which is the year of tithing, and have given it to the Lewi, the Ger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat within your gates and be filled, then you shall say before Yahuwah your Elohim, I have brought away the kadosh things out of my Bayit, and also have given them to the Lewi, and to the Ger, to the fatherless, and to the widow, according to all your mitzvot which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your mitzvot, neither have I forgotten them. I have not eaten any of it in my mourning, neither have I taken away any of it for any unclean use, nor given any of it for the dead. But I have listened to the voice of Yahuwah my Elohim, and have done according to all that you have commanded me. Look down from your kadosh dwelling from the Shamayim, and bless your people Yisrael, and the land that you have given us, as you swore to our avot, a land that flows with milk and honey. This Yom Yahuwah your Elohim has commanded you to do these chukim and mishpatim. You shall therefore shomer and do them with all your lev and with all your being. You have caused Yahuwah this Yom to be your Elohim, and to have your halakha in his halachot, and to shomer his chukim and his mitzvot and his mishpatim, and to listen to his voice. And Yahuwah has caused you this Yom to be his treasured people, as he has promised you, and that you should shomer all his mitzvot, and to make you high above all nations that he has made in Tehillah and in name and in honor, and that you may be a kadosh people to Yahuwah your Elohim, as he has spoken.
Devarim, Deuteronomy,
Chapter 27. And Moshe with the Zechariah of Yisrael commanded the people, saying, Shomer all of the mitzvot that I command you this Yom. And it shall be on the Yom when you shall pass over the Ardain to the land which Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, that you shall set up great stones and plaster them with plaster. And you shall write upon them all the words of this Torah when you have passed over, that you may go into the land that Yahuwah your Elohim gives you, a land that flows with milk and honey, as Yahuwah Elohim of your avot has promised you. Therefore it shall be when you have gone over Yarden, that you shall set up these stones which I command you this Yom in Mount Eval, and you shall plaster them with plaster, and there shall you build an altar to Yahuwah your Elohim, an altar of stones. You shall not lift up any iron tool upon them. You shall build the altar of Yahuwah your Elohim of whole stones, and you shall offer burnt offerings on it to Yahuwah your Elohim. And you shall offer shalom offerings, and shall eat there, and Gilah before Yahuwah your Elohim. And you shall write upon the stones all the words of this Torah very plainly. And Moshe and the Kohanim, the Levim, spoke to Kol Yisrael, saying, Take heed and listen, O Yisrael, this Yom you have become the people of your Elohim. You shall therefore obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to do his mitzvot and his chukim, which I command you this Yom. And Moshe charged the people the same Yom, saying, These tribes shall stand upon Mount Gerizim to bless the people when you go over Yarden, Shimeon and Levi and Yehuda and Yisachar and Yosef and Binyamin. And these tribes shall stand upon Mount Eval to curse Reuven, Gad, and Asher, and Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levim shall speak and say to all the men of Yisrael with a loud voice, Cursed is the man who makes any graven or molded image, an abomination to Yahuwah, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and puts it in a secret place. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen. Cursed is he who makes fun of and dishonors his Abba or his Ima. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who removes his neighbor's landmark. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who makes the blind to wander out of the way. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who perverts the mishpat of the ger, fatherless and widow. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with his Abba's wife, because he uncovers his Abba's skirt. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with any manner of beast. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with his sister, the daughter of his Abba, or the daughter of his Ima. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with his Ima-in-law. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who smites his neighbor secretly. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who takes a reward to slay an innocent person. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who confirms not all the words of this Torah to do them. And all the people shall say, Amen.
Devarim, Deuteronomy,
Chapter 28. And it shall come to pass, if you shall listen diligently to the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to shomer and to do all his mitzvot, which I command you this yom, that Yahweh your Elohim will set you on high above all nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come on you and overtake you, if you shall listen to the voice of Yahweh your Elohim. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your cattle, the increase of your cattle, and the flocks of your sheep. Blessed shall be your basket and your bowl. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. Yahweh shall cause your enemies who rise up against you to be smitten before your face. They shall come against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Yahweh shall command the blessing upon you in your storehouses, and in all that you undertake, and he shall bless you in the land that Yahweh your Elohim gives you. Yahweh shall establish you as a kadosh people to himself, as he has sworn to you, if you shall shomer the mitzvot of Yahweh your Elohim, and have your halakha in his halachot. And all people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of Yahweh, and they shall be afraid of you. And Yahweh shall make you have plenty in goods, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your cattle, and in the fruit of your ground, in the land which Yahweh swore to your avot to give you. Yahweh shall open to you his tov treasure, the shamayim, to give you the rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. And you shall lend to many nations, and you shall not borrow. And Yahweh shall make you the head, and not the tail, and you shall be above only, and you shall not be beneath. If you listen to the mitzvot of Yahweh your Elohim, which I command you this yom to shomer and to do them. And you shall not go aside from any of the words that I command you this yom, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other Elohim to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if you will not listen to the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to shomer, to do all his mitzvot and his chukim that I command you this yom, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. Cursed shall be your basket and your bowl. Cursed shall be the fruit of your body and the fruit of your land, the increase of your cattle and the flocks of your sheep. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall you be when you go out. Yahweh shall send upon you cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that you set your hand to do, until you are destroyed, and until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your doings by which you have forsaken me. Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave to you, until it has consumed you from off the land which you are going to possess. Yahweh shall smite you with confusion, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blight, and with mildew, and they shall pursue you until you perish. And your shamayim that is over your head shall be brass, and the earth that is under you shall be iron. Yahweh shall make the rain of your land powder and dust. From the shamayim shall it come down upon you until you are destroyed. Yahweh shall cause you to be smitten before your enemies. You shall go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the malchutim of the earth. And your body shall be food to all fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the earth, and no man shall frighten them away. Yahweh will smite you with the boils of Mitzrayim, and with the tumors, and with the scab, and with the itch, of which you cannot be healed. Yahweh shall smite you with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of live. And you shall grope at noonday, as the blind gropes in darkness, and you shall not prosper in your ways, and you shall be only oppressed and spoiled all your yamim, and no man shall save you. You shall engage a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You shall build a bayit, and you shall not dwell in it. You shall plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes of it. Your ox shall be slain before your eyes, and you shall not eat of it. Your donkey shall be violently taken away from before your face, and shall not be restored to you. Your sheep shall be given to your enemies, and you shall have none to rescue them. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the yom long, and there shall be no might in your hand. The fruit of your land and all your labors shall a nation that you know not eat up, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed always, so that you shall be mad for the sight of your eyes that you shall see. Yahweh shall smite you in the knees and in the legs with a sore boil that cannot be healed, from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. Yahweh shall bring you and your melech which you shall set over you to a nation which neither you nor your avot have known, and there shall you serve other Elohim, wood and stone. And you shall become an astonishment, a mashal and a mockery among all nations where Yahweh shall lead you. You shall carry much zerah out into the field, and shall gather little in, for the locusts shall consume consume it. You shall plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for worms shall eat them. You shall have olive same throughout all your coasts, but you shall not anoint yourself with the oil, for your olives shall drop off. You shall beget sons and daughters, but you shall not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All your same and the fruit of your land shall the locusts consume. The ger who is within you shall come up above you very high, and you shall come down very low. He shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you, and shall pursue you, and overtake you, until you are destroyed, because you listened not to the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to shomer his mitzvot, and his chukim which he commanded you. And they shall be upon you for an oath and for a wonder, and upon your zerah leolam va'ed, because you did not serve Yahuwah your Elohim with simcha, and with gladness of lev, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shall you serve your enemies, whom Yahuwah shall send against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he has destroyed you. Yahuwah shall bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue you shall not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, that shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And they shall eat the fruit of your cattle and the fruit of your land until you are destroyed, who also shall not leave you either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of your cattle, or flocks of your sheep, until they have destroyed you. And they shall besiege you in all your gates, until your high and fortified walls come down, in which you trusted, throughout all your land. And they shall besiege you in all your gates, throughout all your land, which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you. And you shall eat the fruit of your own body, the flesh of your sons and of your daughters, which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you, in the siege and in the tribulation, in which your enemies shall distress you. So that the man who is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, whom he shall leave, so that he will not give any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he has nothing left to him in the siege and in the tribulation, in which your enemies shall distress you in all your gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, who would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one who comes out from between her feet, and toward her children whom she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and tribulation, in which your enemies shall distress you in your gates. If you will not shomer to do all the words of this Torah that are written in this scroll, that you may fear this glorious and awesome name, Yahuwah your Elohim, then Yahuwah will make your plagues extraordinary, and the plagues of your zerah even terrible plagues of long duration, and sore sickness of long duration. Moreover, he will bring upon you all the diseases of Mitzrayim which you are afraid of, and they shall cleave to you. And every sickness and every plague which is not written in the scroll of this Torah, those will Yahuwah bring upon you until you are destroyed. And you shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the Kochavim of the Shamayim for multitude, because you would not obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim. And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do you tov, and to multiply you, so Yahuwah will gilah over you to destroy you, and to bring you to nothing, and you shall be plucked from off the land which you are going to possess. And Yahuwah shall scatter you among all peoples and nations, from the one end of the earth even to the other, and there you shall serve other Elohim, which neither you nor your avot have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest. But Yahuwah shall give you there a trembling lev, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind, and your chayim shall hang in doubt before you, and you shall fear yom and night, and shall have no assurance of your chayim. In the morning you shall say, Would Elohim it were evening, and at evening you shall say, Would Elohim it were morning. For the fear of your lev with which you shall fear, and for the sight of your eyes which you shall see. And Yahuwah shall bring you into Mitzrayim again with ships, the derrick of which I said to you, you shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies for avadim and female avadim, and no man shall buy you.
DEVARIM, Deuteronomy,
Chapter 29. These are the words of the brit which Yahuwah commanded Moshe to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, besides the brit that he made with them in Horeb. And Moshe called to call Israel, and said to them, You have seen all that Yahuwah did before your eyes in the land of Mitzrayim to Paro, and to all his avadim, and to all his land, the great trials which your eyes have seen, the signs and those great nisim. Yet Yahuwah has not given you a lev to perceive, and eyes to see, and ears to hear to this yom. And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes have not worn out upon you, and your shoe has not worn out upon your foot. You have not eaten lechem, nor have you drunk wine, or strong drink, that you might know that I am Yahuwah your Elohim. And when you came to this place, Sichon the melech of Heshbon and Og the melech of Bashan came out against us to battle, and we smote them. And we took their land, and gave it for an inheritance to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh. Keep therefore the words of this brit, and do them, that you may prosper in all that you do. You stand this yom, all of you, before Yahuwah your Elohim, your captains of your tribes, your zekanim, and your officers, with all the men of Yisrael, your little ones, your wives, and your garim, who are in your camp, from the cutter of your wood to the drawer of your mayim, that you should enter into brit with Yahuwah your Elohim, and into his oath which Yahuwah your Elohim makes with you this yom, that he may establish you today for a people to himself, and that he may be to you an Elohim, as he has said to you, and as he has sworn to your avot, to Avraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov. Neither with you only do I make this brit and this oath, but with him who stands here with us this yom before Yahuwah our Elohim, and also with him who is not here with us this yom. For you know how we have dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, and how we came through the nations that you passed by, and you have seen their abominations, and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were among them, lest there should be among you man or woman or mishpacha or tribe, whose life turns away this yom from Yahuwah our Elohim, to go and serve the Elohim of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that bears bitterness and wormwood. And it come to pass, when he hears the words of this curse, that he blesses himself in his lev, saying, I shall have shalom, though I have my halakha in the imagination of my lev, to add drunkenness to thirst. Yahuwah will not spare him, but then the anger of Yahuwah and his zeal shall be lit against that man, and all the curses that are written in this scroll shall lie upon him, and Yahuwah shall blot out his name from under the Shamayim, and Yahuwah shall separate him for evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the brit that are written in this scroll of the Torah, so that the generation to come of your children shall rise up after you, and the ger who shall come from a far land shall say, when they see the plagues of that land, and the sicknesses which Yahuwah has laid upon it, and that the whole land is like that which is brimstone and salt and burning, that it is not sown, nor bears, nor any grass grows in it, like the overthrow of Sodom and Amorah, Admah and Zavoyim, which Yahuwah overthrew in his anger and in his wrath. Even all nations shall say, Why has Yahuwah done this to this land? What means the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, Because they have forsaken the brit of Yahuwah Elohim of their avot, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim. For they went and served other Elohim, and worshipped them, Elohim whom they knew not, and whom he had not given to them. And the anger of Yahuwah was lit against this land, to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this scroll. And Yahuwah rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this yom. The secret things belong to Yahuwah our Elohim, but those things that are revealed belong to us and to our children, Le'olam Va'ed, that we may do all the words of this Torah.
DEVARIM, Deuteronomy,
Chapter 30. And it shall come to pass, when all these things have come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you shall call them to mind among all the nations where Yahuwah your Elohim has driven you, and shall make teshuvah to Yahuwah your Elohim, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command you this yom, you and your children with all your lev and with all your being, that then Yahuwah your Elohim will turn your captivity, and have compassion upon you, and will return and gather you from all the nations where Yahuwah your Elohim has scattered you. If any of you you are driven out to the farthest parts of the Shamayim, from there will Yahuwah your Elohim gather you, and from there will he fetch you. And Yahuwah your Elohim will bring you into the land that your avot possessed, and you shall possess it, and he will do you tov, and multiply you above your avot. And Yahuwah your Elohim will perform Brit Milah upon your lev, and the lev of your zerah, to love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your lev and with all your being, that you may live. And Yahuwah your Elohim will put all these curses upon your enemies and on those who hate you, who persecute you. And you shall make teshuvah and obey the voice of Yahuwah, and do all his mitzvot which I command you this yom. And Yahuwah your Elohim will make you have excess in every work of your hand, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your cattle, and in the fruit of your land, for tov. For Yahuwah will again gilah over you for tov, as he rejoiced over your avot. If you shall listen to the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to shomer his mitzvot, and his chukim which are written in this scroll of the Torah, and if you turn to Yahuwah your Elohim with all your lev and with all your being, for this mitzvah which I command you this yom is not hidden from you, neither is it far off. It is not in the Shamayim that you should say, who shall go up for us to the Shamayim and bring it to us that we may hear and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us that we may hear and do it? But the devar is very near to you, in your mouth and in your lev and in your hand, that you may do it. See, I have set it before you this yom, Chaim and Tov, and death and evil, in that I command you this yom to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to have your halakha in his halachot, and to shomer his mitzvot and his chukim and his mishpatim, that you may live and multiply. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall bless you in the land which you are going to possess. But if your lev turn away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away to worship other Elohim and serve them, I declare to you this yom that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your yamim upon the land which you pass over the Yarden to go to possess. I call the Shamayim and earth to record this yom against you, that I have set before you Chaim and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose Chaim, that both you and your zerah may live, that you may love Yahuwah your Elohim, and that you may obey his voice, and that you may cleave to him, for he is your Chaim, and the length of your yamim, that you may dwell in the land which Yahuwah swore to your avot, to Avraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, to give them.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 31. And Moshe went and spoke these words to Kol Yisrael, and he said to them, I am 120 years old this yom. I can no more go out and come in. Also Yahuwah has said to me, you shall not go over this Yarden. Yahuwah your Elohim will go over before you, and he will destroy these nations from before you, and you shall possess them, and Yahushua shall go over before you, as Yahuwah has said. And Yahuwah shall do to them as he did to Sihon and to Og, Melechim of the Amorites, and to their land which he destroyed. And Yahuwah shall deliver them up before your face, that you may do to them according to all the mitzvot which I have commanded you. Be strong and of a tov courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For Yahuwah your Elohim, he it is who goes before you. He will not fail you, nor forsake you. And Moshe called to Yahushua, and said to him in the sight of Kol Yisrael, Be strong and of a tov courage, for you must go with this people to the land which Yahuwah has sworn to their avot to give them, and you shall cause them to inherit it. And Yahuwah, he it is who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you, neither forsake you. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And Moshe wrote this Torah in a scroll, and delivered it to the Kohanim, the sons of Levi, who bore the ark of the testimony of Yahuwah, and to all the Zechariah of Yisrael. And Moshe commanded them, saying, at the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, at Chag Sukkot, when Kol Yisrael comes to appear before Yahuwah your Elohim in the place that he shall choose, you shall read this Torah before Kol Yisrael in their hearing. Gather the people together, men and women and children, and your ger who is within your gates, that they may hear, and that they may learn and fear Yahuwah your Elohim, and shomer to do all the words of this Torah, and that their children who have not known anything may hear and learn to fear Yahuwah your Elohim, as long as you live in the land which you go over the Yarden to possess. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, See, your Yamim approach when you must die. Call Yahushua, and present yourselves in the tabernacle of the congregation, that I may give him a command. And Moshe and Yahushua went and presented themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation. And Yahuwah appeared in the tabernacle in a pillar of a cloud, and the pillar of the cloud stood over the door of the tabernacle. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, See, you shall sleep with your avot, and this people will rise up and whore after the Elohim of the Gerim of the land, where they are going to be among them, and will forsake me, and break my brit that I have made with them. Then my anger shall be lit against them in that yom, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that yom, Are not these evils come upon us, because our Elohim is not among us? And I will surely hide my face in that yom for all the evils that they shall do, in that they will have turned to other Elohim. Now therefore write this shir for yourselves, and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths, that this shir may be a witness for me against the children of Israel. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swore to their avot, that flows with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves and grown fat, then will they turn to other Elohim and serve them, and provoke me, and break my brit. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles have befallen them, that this shir shall testify against them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their zerah. For I know their imagination that they entertain even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swore to them. Moshe therefore wrote this shir the same yom, and taught it to the children of Israel. And he gave Yahushua the son of Nun a command, and said, Be strong and of tov courage, for you shall bring the children of Israel into the land which I swore to them, and I will be with you. And it came to pass, when Moshe had made an end of writing the words of this Torah in a scroll, until they were finished, that Moshe commanded the Elohim who bore the ark of the testimony of Yahuwah, saying, Take this scroll of the Torah, and put it at the side of the ark of the testimony of Yahuwah, your Elohim, that it may be there for a witness against you. For I know your rebellion and your stiff neck. See, while I am yet alive with you this yom, you have been rebellious against Yahuwah, and how much more after my death? Gather to me all the Zecharinim of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call the Shamayim and earth to record it against them. For I know that after my death you will fully corrupt yourselves, and turn aside from the halakha which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter yamim, because you will do evil in the sight of Yahuwah, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And Moshe spoke in the ears of all the congregation the words of this shir, until they were ended.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 32. The Shir Song of Moshe. Give ear, O you Shamayim, and I will speak, and listen, O earth, to the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall drop down as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of Yahuwah, ascribe greatness to our Elohim. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his halachot are just, and Elav emet, and without iniquity, tzaddik and right is he. They have corrupted themselves, they are blemished, and are not his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Are these the things you return to Yahuwah, O foolish and unwise people? Is not he your Abba who has bought you? Has he not made you and established you? Remember the Amim of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask your Abba, and he will show you, your Zecharinim, and they will tell you. When Elyon divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the boundaries of the nations according to the number of the heavenly Malachim of Elohim. For Yahuwah's portion is his people, Yaakov his allotted inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in the wasted, howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirs up her nest, flutters over her young, spreads abroad her wings, takes them and bears them on her wings. So Yahuwah alone led him, and there was no strange El with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of cattle and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats, with the finest of wheat. And you drank the pure dam of the grape, the tov wine. But Yeshurun grew fat and kicked. You are waxed fat, you are grown thick, you are covered with fatness. Then he forsook Eloah who made him, him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to zeal with strange Elohim. With abominations they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to Shadim, not to Eloah, to Elohim whom they knew not, to new ones who popped up, whom your avot feared not. Of the rock who begot you, you are not mindful, and have forgotten the El who formed you. And when Yahuwah saw it, he abhorred them, because of their provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very perverse generation, children in whom is no emunah. They have moved me to zeal with that which is not El. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to zeal with those who are lo ami. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is lit in my anger, and shall burn to the lowest Sheol, and shall consume the land with its increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will gather evils upon them. I will send my arrows upon them. They shall be wasted with hunger, and devoured with burning heat, and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword without and fear within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the nursing child also with the man of gray hairs. I said I would scatter them into the four corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, Our hand is high, and Yahuwah has not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any Binah in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and Yahuwah had given them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves are Shoftim. For their vine is of the vine of Sidom, and of the fields of Amorah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of serpents, and the cruel venom of vipers. Is not this laid up in store with me, and sealed up among my treasures? To me belongs vengeance and repayment. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the yom of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For Yahuwah shall judge his people, and have rachamim on his avadim, when he sees that their power is gone, and there are none remaining bond or free. And he shall say, Where are their Elohim, their rock in whom they trusted, who ate the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you, and be your protection. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no Elohim with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither are there any who can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to the Shamayim, and say, I live leolam va'ed. If I sharpen my flashing sword, and my hand takes hold on Mishpat, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and will reward those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with dam, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the dam of the slain, and of the captives from the keter of the head of the enemy. Gilah, O Shamayim, with him, and let all the heavenly Malachim worship him. O Gilah, you nations with his people, and let all the sons of Elohim strengthen themselves in him, for he will avenge the dam of his sons, and will render mishpat to his adversaries, and will reward them who hate him. And Yahuwah will make a keparah for the land and for his people. And Moshe came and spoke all the words of this year in the ears of the people, he and Yahushua the son of Nun. And Moshe made an end of speaking all these words to Kol Yisrael. And he said to them, Set your levavot to all the words that I testify among you this yom, which you shall command your children to shomer and to do, all the words of this Torah. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your chayim. And through this thing you shall prolong your yamim in the land which you go over the Yarden to possess. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe that same yom, saying, Get up into this mountain of Arim, to Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, that is opposite Jericho, and see the land of Canaan, which I give to the children of Israel for a possession, and die on the mount where you go up, and be gathered to your people, as Aharon your brother died on Mount Hor, and was gathered to his people, because you trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the Maim of Merivah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Tzin, because you did not set me apart in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet you shall see the land before you, but you shall not go there to the land that I give the children of Israel.
Devarim. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 33. And this is the blessing with which Moshe the man of Elohim blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, Yahuwah came from Sinai and rose up from Seir to them. He shone forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of Kiddushim. From his right hand went a fiery Torah for them. Yes, he loved the people. All his Kiddushim are in your hand. And they sat down at your feet. Every one shall receive of your words. Moshe commanded us a Torah, even the inheritance of the congregation of Yaakov. And he was Melech in Yeshurun, when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together. Let Reuven live and not die, and let not his men be few. And this is the blessing of Yahudah. And he said, Listen, Yahuwah, to the voice of Yahudah, and bring him to his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be a help to him from his enemies. And of Lewi he said, Let your Tumim and your Urim be with your Kadosh one, whom you tested at Massah, and with whom you contended at the Mayim of Merivah, who said to Azabah and to Azimah, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brothers, or know his own children, for they have observed your word and kept your brit. They shall teach Yaakov your Mishpatim, and Yisrael your Torah. They shall put incense before you, and whole burnt sacrifices upon your altar. Yahuwah bless his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Smite through the loins of those who rise against him, and of those who hate him, that they rise not again. And of Benjamin he said, The beloved of Yahuwah shall dwell in safety by him, and Yahuwah shall cover him all the yom long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And of Yosef he said, Blessed of Yahuwah is his land, with the precious things of the Shamayim, with the dew and with the deep that lies beneath, and with the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and with the precious things put forth by the moon, and with the best things of the ancient mountains, and with the precious things of the everlasting hills, and with the precious things of the earth and fullness of it, and with the tov will of him who dwelt in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Yosef, and upon the top of the head of him who was separated from his brothers. His splendor is like a firstborn bull, and his horns are like the horns of the rhinoceros. With them he shall push the peoples together to the ends of the earth, and they are the myriads of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Gilah, Zebulun, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents. They shall call the peoples to the mountain. There they shall offer sacrifices of tzedakah, for they shall suck of the abundance of the seas, and of treasures hidden in the sand. And of God he said, Blessed be he who enlarges God. He dwells as a lion, and tears the arm, yes, the keter of the head. And he provided the first part for himself, because there the portion of the Torah giver was hidden, and he came with the heads of the people. He did the tzedakah of Yahuwah, and his mishpatim with Yisrael. And of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's whelp. He shall leap from Bashan. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the bracha of Yahuwah, possess the west and the south. And of Asher he said, Let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brothers, and let him dip his foot in oil. Your shoes shall be iron and brass, and as your yamim, so shall your strength be. There are none like the El of Yeshurun, who rides upon the Shamayim to help you, and in his excellency rides the skies. The Elohim of old is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. And he shall thrust out the enemy from before you, and shall say, Destroy them. Yisrael then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Yaakov shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his Shamayim shall drop down dew. Favored are you, O Yisrael. Who is like you, O people saved by Yahuwah, the shield of your help, who is the sword of your excellency? And your enemies shall be found to be liars to you, and you shall tread down their high places.
DEVARIM. Deuteronomy.
Chapter 34. And Moshe went up from the plains of Moab to the mountain of Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, that is opposite Jericho. And Yahuwah showed him all the land of Gilead as far as Dan, and all of Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim, and Manasseh, and all the land of Yehudah to the western sea, and the south, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, and the city of Palm-Eitzim to Tzoar. And Yahuwah said to him, This is the land which I swore to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, saying, I will give it to your Zerah. I have caused you to see it with with your eyes, but you shall not go over there. So Moshe the Eved of Yahuwah died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of Yahuwah. And he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beit Peor. But no man knows of his burial place to this yom. And Moshe was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim, nor his natural force gone. And the children of Israel wept for Moshe in the plains of Moab 30 yamim. So the yamim of weeping and mourning for Moshe were ended. And Yahushua the son of Nun was full of the ruach of Chokhmah, for Moshe had laid his hands upon him. And the children of Israel listened to him, and did as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And there arose not a Navi since in Israel like Moshe, whom Yahuwah knew Panaim el Panaim, face to face, as evidenced by all the signs and the wonders which Yahuwah sent him to do in the land of Mitzrayim, to Paro, and to all his avadim, and to all his land, and in all that his mighty hand did, and in all the great fearsome deeds that Moshe showed forth in the sight of Kol Yisrael. Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek. Be strong, and may we be strengthened, encouraged. End of Devarim.